Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Paul K. Dunn, owner advisor at J and Sons Retirement Advisors. Also proudly supporting Project 1000 mission, financially empowering 1,000 families in 2017. Today's video is the tutorial for filling out your financial overview. Now, if you've requested a financial overview, more than likely you want to know where your current financial position is. And from there, you may want to go through it further to get us to help you fix some problem areas that you may have, install some new habits financially in order to protect your financial future. Okay. But by all means, if this is just something that you need in order to help you get an overall picture of what's going on, you can definitely just use it for that and do your best to work through this budgeting system as best you can using our tutorials. And those are located, one of the first things we'll show you, those are located here at the bottom. Okay, there's instructions on how to save the documents correctly that you fill out. And then there's also a budgeting system tutorial link, which is what you're listening to now. And there will be more tutorials coming today. It's just the financial overview, but we will have a tutorial for each section. Now, if you're a person that's going to go through our budgeting boot camp, that's when you'll see the tutorials coming through for filling out your monthly cash flow calculator and your yearly financial statement. Okay. But today is just the financial overview. We want to give you a rundown of how it works. So normally what you do is you fill this form out completely. You keep a copy saved in your computer, and then you send us a copy for us to review. And then we can point out any solutions that we may have for you immediately, some places where maybe you can get started. Okay. So first things first, we start at the top and we work our way down the form. Okay, it's very easy when you do it that way. Here at the top of the form is just simple stuff. It's just your name, your age, your gender, occupation, pretty standard questions. Height, weight, and smoker. You just put yes or no for smoking. Normally we populate these fields for you so that you can just select it, but up here we just wanted to keep this where you input the information for now. So you just would write yes or no, you type in your weight, you type in your height, and anything that comes across different or out of our format, we will fix it once you send it to us. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. The next section is our goal section, which has our family goals and our retirement goals. We broke them up so that it was easier to follow for you and us. And we also keep things categorized so that we can see the financial picture a lot quicker when things are categorized correctly. The very first field that we have here is called the emergency savings goal, and you'll see that it's highlighted in all blue. Anything that you see highlighted, you do not want to change. Either it is a title field, which we need those titles to stay put, or it has a formula in it that's been done for you so that it can calculate the right numbers automatically. Okay, so in the emergency savings goal, what happens is when you put your gross income into the field, and let's say it's a two-parent home, when you put your gross income into the field, it populates your emergency savings goal for you. So what this column is, this will give you the minimum amount that you should be saving for your emergency savings goal. At this point, you should be saving $7,800 into a savings account that is specifically for emergency savings. It shouldn't be touched for any other reason. Something that goes on sale guys, is not an emergency. Okay, so the flat tires and the car breakdowns, the emergency hospital visits, certain things like that pop up. But your account should your emergency savings will always remain at the minimum, the number that we put in this field for you, and that is a principle of budgeting. The next step that we have you fill out is your college fund goal, career salary, annual business, and other income goals that you may have. If you don't have them, feel free to leave them blank. But if you do have them, do not be afraid to put them in there. Our goal is to look at them and to help you achieve them one by one, giving you solutions, I would say, not necessarily one by one, but giving you solutions one by one so that each goal has a specific solution to help you take care of it. Okay. The next section is your retirement goals. And the very first form area here is your retirement age. And when you select the box here, it will give you your pop down menu, and all you need to do is select the age that you would like to retire. Either you're going to retire young and rich or OG stress free. Okay, so you select that, and then that will stay in the category for us. So we have an idea as to how many years you need to be planning for your retirement. If you don't know, just guess. Normally, the average is around here, and if we can get you retired sooner, we definitely will. The next part is your retirement savings goals. Um, Almost 90 to 95% of the clients that we deal with have not put this goal in perspective correctly. So we have special calculators that will help us to determine how to get you retired at your retirement age and keep you there. Because the reality is you can claim retirement at 59 and a half, but how long you stay retired is all dependent upon what you do now when it comes to saving the right amount. So the vehicle that you choose to do your retirement saving, and then how long you have to save, is going to make a huge difference to how long you remain retired. And nobody I know wants to come out of retirement and be forced to work because they're low on money or their retirement fund has run out. Okay, the next part is generational wealth goals. This is just what you want to pass on to your family. You may have children, you may have nieces and nephews, and you may want to pass wealth on to them. Very, very smart to think about these things in the beginning. Principle of wealth um, always states that you plan your future immediately. And Walmart, the owner of Walmart, he planned his generational wealth transfer before he ever opened one store. And so all of the Walmart children are now at the top of the Forbes richest people's list because their father planned the generational wealth transfer accordingly. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is your vacation travel budget. Okay, your vacation travel budget. We definitely recommend that you have a getaway planned at least once per year. If we can get up to four, that's when we know we're doing some really good work financially. When you're able to plan at least four trips away, but we always start with at least one vacation travel getaway, and you would put that budget here so that it becomes something you can save towards. And our other goal is just for any other things that we may have missed or something that may be important to you. You just pick one thing. We advise you to take care of your goals that you set and then start to set more goals rather than inundating yourself with a whole bunch of goals that make it look like it's going to be unachievable by the end of the session. Okay, so the next step is where we put our monthly income. The next column down here to the left is where we put our gross salary income. And the reason we like to do gross income is because it's going to teach you a money habit. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that we put our gross salary before anyone takes anything out of your check. Um, we want that number here, and it will teach you how to always know what is being taken from you. The person that fails to pay attention to the money in their bank, the money that comes in and goes out, is the person that is the easiest target for getting money swindled out of the back pockets. And that's why we teach you to check this habit. So if you started here with your gross and you check out all of your takeaway items that they took away from your check, your taxes and everything like that, which are taxes we put and break down in expenses, which we'll explain at a later time in the video. But we want to separate all of that, and we want to make sure that from the gross salary and what we calculated should go in our bank gets to our bank. And that's a key principle of budgeting and tracking your money, is making sure that what you are supposed to have, you receive. Okay, so that's why we want to put gross salary here, and we want to work from a gross salary. And just like they take taxes from your money, and they take this thing from your money and that thing from your money, there's some mandatory items that we want to take away from our gross before we ever start paying other expenses. Okay, so it's very important that you do that. The next group of columns here have to do with passive income. And what passive income is income that comes in without trading your time. There's only two types of income that we deal with. You either have passive income or you have ordinary income. Passive income is where you can work on a project for a bit of time without pay. There's no price to the amount of time that you put in. But when the project is complete, you can receive money day in, day out, month in, month out, without having to continue to put in that same effort. So the best way to explain that is through your real estate business. If you bought 3 investment properties and you did your due diligence, you spent hours and hours making sure that you found the right properties to go see. You used some of the better deal finders out there that help you generate the numbers that you need in order to buy good investments without hassle. You spend all of these hours looking and going to see places, and finally you put your bid in, and it takes you, let's say, a month to bring down, let's say, 3 properties that you were able to put in offers on, and they all get accepted. And from that point forward, let's just say you have a mortgage on the left-hand side, and then you have the rent that you collect from the properties on the right-hand side. So when you bring those two together, you always want to find deals in this category. You want to find deals that pay you monthly more than what you're paying out in your mortgage. So in this case, the 3 homes would pay us, let's say, $500 each. Which will give us another income of about $1,500. And that will automatically place itself in our passive income section down here at the bottom. And passive income is one of the most important things on this this worksheet, because passive income is where you become wealthy. When your passive income here matches or exceeds your money out down here, then you are considered wealthy, because those three homes, the money's going to come in, month out. And if you do it correctly, what's going to happen is as the mortgage begins to get paid off, because you're doing the right things financially, the amount that goes into your passive income bucket is going to go up. So the bigger your income in the passive column, the better your lifestyle is going to be, because you no longer have to trade time for money the same way you do at your ordinary business. Okay, or let's call it your ordinary job or self-employment business, because and we want to make sure that's clear that even if you're self-employed, that is an ordinary income business. If you trading time, if you're trading time for the income that's coming in, and the best example for that one is something like a cleaning service, where you go to work every day cleaning homes, but you own the business, you go and get the work, and then you have to perform it all by yourself. That is what we call ordinary income self-employment under self-employment under self-employment position. Sorry about that. That was my little baby girl. Okay, so as we were explaining, the better you get at doing this passive income thing, the easier your life is going to be. And even if you're self-employed, if you're doing all of the work, you haven't you haven't yet graduated to an official business owner, and there's still more work to do when it comes to turning that ordinary income that you have to work for into a passive income that comes in whether you are working or not. Okay, so that is the income section, and the passive income down here will calculate itself. And our goal for being able to see that is to check that against your expenses so that we can bring you investments that help you to generate more and more passive income streams so that you can actually create the lifestyle you desire. Okay, and the next section is pretty easy. It's the expenses, and the very first thing that we have in our expense column is called a surplus investment. Adding a surplus is a strategy we use to account for mandatory saving. This surplus is added into your budget as an expense, so you take it seriously. If you create a habit of surplusing your savings, you treat it like a bill that you pay first every time. Okay? Your surplus is calculated for you. And what a surplus investment is, this is the official way that you pay yourself first. And many people have heard pay yourself first, but a lot of people that I meet have no idea what that means. Some people pay themselves first by paying off all their bills and making sure that they have no bills outstanding, and that's good enough for them. Other people pay themselves first by going to buy items, things that make your home look good, or things that make you feel good, or going shopping and buying that purse and doing this and doing that when it comes to spending. But the reality is the only way to pay yourself first is to focus yourself onto your own investment strategy. And the surplus investment account should be saved. It should be separated, and then it should be saved on a regular basis, just like your emergency savings. And it should also be taken highly serious when it comes to the first thing that goes out when your money comes in. When you're investing into your surplus account, and you're making an investment into yourself, what you're doing is you're preparing yourself for the next opportunity that's going to place a business income stream into your portfolio. And the best thing that I can tell you is, let's say you've saved for 6, 7 months, you've done what it's told you to do. It says to do 307, you do that what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12 is 4 months. So let's say you saved for 8 months and you have $2,400 saved towards let's call it a business income stream. And you put your 2,400 down and it brings you, let's say, another 500 a month. Okay. Your passive income is going up, your money in going up. And now you have an income stream that continues to come in whether you like it or not, whether you wake up or not, whether someone else is working or not. It is controlled by you and it is there for you. So I'm pretty sure you will like it. But a lot of people get bogged down when they see saving because they have no intention set as to why they're saving. The money's just sitting there, and sometimes you go backwards on bills and you need to go use the money because of bad budgeting, bad spending habits, and these are the first things to go. Things that are supposed to be set aside for your investment purposes, maybe for your fun purposes. These type of things make your life easier when you just buckle down and get them taken care of. So imagine $500 coming in every month. It would be very easy to take another green area down here, which we call the savings bucket. The savings bucket is the one that you use for fun. So let's say you've created a $500 income stream and they only want you to save 115. Well, you can put the 500 business income stream into your vacation travel budget along with your 115 savings, and look what you have. You will have a nice $615 going towards your vacation budget each month until that budget's reached. And from there, you can pay off any debt that you may have. You can overpay things like home mortgages and things like that to help you pay off bigger debt quicker. There's a lot of opportunity when you take the time to put your surplus investment account in motion. So again, we recommend that you create a separate account that is called a surplus investment or something similar so that you know it should only be touched, just like your emergency, it should only be touched when it is full enough to take advantage of um, an opportunity that will make you more money. That's the best use of this account. The rest of the expenses are pretty self-explanatory, but what we want to explain here is about the principal and interest. Another interesting thing that I found when budgeting is that we get hammered on interest in a lot of areas. And I don't see people taking account for how much is actually going out in interest payments. So what we want you to do is break those interest payments up, and we will show you at a later stage how to go and cut your monthly and yearly debt down through a special debt and wealth uh, platform that we have here in the budgeting system. When you break these things up, it gives you an ideal picture of what is going out in interest and what is actually going towards the debt you owe. And if you do not have access to it on your statement where you cannot see what the interest and principal is, I highly advise you to call the lender and have them to separate the principal and interest for each loan that you have that charges you interest. Not the interest percent, but if you have an outstanding balance, you need to know how much interest you pay each month on that actual bill. Okay, and that really is the only thing that's out of the ordinary besides your surplus investment And you have one other savings bucket here, which is just for fun. This bucket should be right now. You should have three buckets created. So you're going to go have three savings accounts that operate in a specific manner. One is specifically for your fun. This savings bucket is not the vacation budgeting amount. You know, if you're going to have a vacation budget, where you want to do that separate, but your savings bucket should be for anything fun. So if you don't have a vacation that you've planned, then this is just to do fun things every month, to treat yourself for working so hard and to make sure that you're spending some of your hard-earned money on yourself. Okay, the more income that you get, the bigger this bucket will get. Okay. Down here, we have your money in and money out in total. And what we want to do with the money in and money out is just keep an eye on how much you have coming in versus how much you have going out, because they come together and they will make up your monthly cash flow. And the best thing that you can create in your household is a positive cash flow system where more money is coming in and staying in than going out. Okay, it's very, very important to do that. And that's why we create this budget, so that it's clear to you that this is really important and it can be done. It takes being able to focus on the right things in the right areas. And that's a lot of why we created this budgeting system. The next step that we have is we want to highlight your assets and liabilities. And the reason that we want to highlight these is to generate a net worth for you. It's really cool to be able to see how much you're worth at any given time. So as you start to get assets into your portfolio, things like homes that you buy bonds, you buy stocks, options, your emergency savings. When you start to save, this is where you will track what's in your emergency savings account each month. And the coolest part about that is when you do that, let's say you save 2,500, when you put your amount there, this currently adjusts itself. Um, it's going to continue to adjust. So you have 11,300 left, and that's where you would be sitting at any given time. So the cool part about that is what happens. It's not on this sheet that you have to worry too much about your emergency savings goal and tracking it. That's only for our budgeting boot camp attendees, where you will learn about how to enter your monthly cash flow into the monthly cash flow calculator, and then that will help you with your emergency savings at any given time. Okay. So yeah, this number down here will be revolving. Every month you will come to this sheet and you will update what your savings look like. So it's 11,300 there. Let's just say you put in 2,800 the next month. So now it's down to 11,000 that you need to save in order to meet your emergency savings goal. The other one is your investment goal. And this account is connected to another account in another page. But for right now, it's the same. You can put your amount here each month as to what you save towards your investment, and it will help us to calculate some things later on down the track if you are going through our budgeting course. Okay. The other side of that is your liability sector. So as you start to put in different balances, so if you have a student loan and you put that in, and then you go your mortgage, you can see down here that the network continues to change. Let's say you have a we'll call it an auto loan. Let's say you only owe 2,500 on that. Now you're in the negative down here, net worth, until you pay these things off. This is how your net worth's looking. So two things that are very important for you to pay attention to is your monthly cash flow should be at a positive, and your net worth should always be at a positive as well. And honestly, guys, that is all in a nutshell. The notes of each section that need explaining have been highlighted. You will see the little red arrow in each section, so you can take your time and read those and make sure you have a full understanding of what everything is. But this is it. We've created this budget to help you get a full financial picture, and in most cases, you'll end up with a true wake up call to let you know how far off track or on track you are. Um, and there's no problem with being off track. The only problem with being off track is not correcting the course. So with with all this in me, I wish you success in all that you do. And until next time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.